I'm Richard Clarke. I record these talks every day as a way to deepen my inquiry. Listen each day and deepen your own practice. Welcome. I'm reviewing and commenting on the book Talks with Sri Ramana Maharshi. Today is from Talk 607, Part 2. Sri Bhagavan said to Lady Bateman, "There is a fixed state. Sleep, dream, and waking are mere movements in it. They are like pictures moving on the screen in a cinema show. Everyone sees the screen as well as the pictures, but ignores the screens and takes in the pictures alone. The Jnani, however, considers only the screen and not the pictures. The pictures certainly move on the screen, yet do not affect it. The screen itself does not move, but remains stationary. The Jnani is fully aware that the true state of being remains fixed and stationary, and that all actions go on around him. His nature does not change, and his state is not affected in the least. He looks on everything with unconcern and remains blissful himself. Sri Ramana Maharshi talks about the state of a Jnani, a person who has realized the self, and whether such a person remains in an unbroken state of stillness. Ramana explains that the Jnani state is both primal and natural, meaning it is not something acquired, but is the original condition of being. Once this state comes, they do not lose it. This unshakable nature of realization is emphasized when he says, "Fixed once, fixed ever he will be. There is no going back to ignorance." He refers to his time in the Patalalinga Center, where he remained in deep absorption, unmoving, unaware of the body, even though they had to pry him out and bugs had eaten into his legs. The state of absorption in the self has not changed. The only difference is that now the body moves and engages with the world. This means that realization does not depend on whether the body is still or active. What was present in that silent, immobile state continues, even in outward activity. The key is that the body's actions do not disturb the underlying awareness of the self. What is the distinction between a realized person and one who is still caught in ignorance? Ramana addresses this by saying that there is no outward difference in conduct. A Jnani and an ajnani may appear to act in similar ways, but their inner experience is completely different. The ignorant person identifies with the ego, believing it to be the true self, and assumes that its thoughts and actions define their existence. Does this sound familiar? This mistaken identity creates suffering because the ego is always changing, reacting, and attaching itself to external events that are themselves always changing. For the Jnani, the ego has been dissolved. Without that false identification, they do not see themselves as limited to a particular body or situation. They are no longer bound by personal concerns, desires, or fears. Their vision is not distorted by the sense of I and mind. They act, but there is no attachment to action. Their actions are just the unfolding of the self. They see the same self in all beings and all things, while the ignorant person remains trapped in duality, perceiving separation everywhere. Ramana Maharshi's words invite you to examine your own sense of identity. Are you the shifting thoughts, emotions, and roles you play? Or is there something deeper, an awareness that remains unchanged? By questioning the reality of the ego and seeking the source of the I, you can move towards the clarity that the Jnani has realized. So know yourself and be always free and at peace. In 40 verses on reality, Ramana Maharshi explains the nature of the self, the ultimate reality, and self-inquiry. My new book, with my comments and inquiry questions, opens these teachings up and brings them into your practice and experience. Available now from Amazon. Link in the video description. These videos bring Ramana's teachings into your direct experience. Click subscribe to see more. Click thumbs up to like, and send questions and start a dialogue with a comment